That's a nice brisket.
I recently went to a new barbecue restaurant in Las Vegas called Smoke Show Barbecue, and their brisket was incredible. I asked them how they cooked it, and they basically said that they followed the Goldees method. Goldees is a barbecue restaurant in Texas that was named the top restaurant by Texas Monthly a few years back. And what they do is they smoke their brisket at a lower temperature, and they never wrap it. They don't do the Texas crutch. They just let it ride, let it smoke, and then once it reaches the desired temperature, they let it come down just a little bit in temp, and then they wrap it in foil with tallow and let it continue to rest, and that's when it really gets nice and moist and kind of softens that bark a bit. Well, that brisket was so good, I wanted to see if I could do this for competition barbecue. The thing with competition barbecue though is that we're always cooking hot and fast. We're cooking at temperatures 300 degrees plus. We're using Wagyu brisket, of course, and we're wrapping it, we're braising it basically in beef broth or some other kind of jus and just kind of letting the meat kind of steam. Well, if I go back to slow and low and I follow the Goldees method, I'm curious if that'll work. So today I'm gonna give it a shot. Now, I do need to preface this by saying this is a select grade brisket, so I don't have 100% confidence that it's gonna work, but I'm not blaming the method just yet. So stick with me, we'll see how it turns out. If it turns out amazing with the select grade brisket, holy smokes, I can't even imagine what it would taste like with the Wagyu brisket, but we'll see. If it doesn't work, I am gonna give it another shot with a different grade of beef. But we're gonna get started. The way I do competition brisket is I always separate my point and my flat, so that's what we're gonna do here. I'm not gonna show you that whole method on here. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it started. I've got plenty of trimming videos to show you all of that process, but basically you're gonna cut along this seam, which is kind of a U shape. This is your point meat right here. This is your flat meat on top. We're gonna separate the two. While I'm getting this started, let me talk to you a little bit about beef grades. So select is basically the lowest grade of beef that you can buy. I mean, there's commodity grade too, but you don't usually see that on the shelves. So there's select, choice, prime, and then there are different breeds like Wagyu, certified Angus beef. Those yield a little bit more marbling. What you want to look for when you are buying a brisket is the marbling, especially in the flat, because this is the leanest part of the brisket. There's really not a lot of marbling in here, and I knew that. I did choose the one that had the most marbling, but it's nothing compared to Wagyu or even prime. So if you are smoking a brisket, I do recommend buying the highest grade that you can afford, that your budget allows. And if you're cooking competition, I definitely recommend that you go with a higher grade because the judges only get one bite. The good news is the point meat, which is this cut right here, always has more marbling. But you can see I'm just kind of cutting along the seam here. I am not making it super fancy like I usually would for competition because this is just a test for now. So here's my point. Here's my flat. Now what I'm gonna do is kind of trim away some of this. A lot of this is still point meat right here that I've left on here. Any extra meat I always grind down to make burgers, you know, some ground beef. And I'm just gonna trim away this fat cap so it's about 1/4 inch or so. And I'm gonna just kind of square this up. All right, I've got the flat and the point. Again, I didn't do a super tight trim on it like I would at a competition. I'm really just more focusing on the process. I'm actually not gonna inject it today either, which is something I do in a competition. What I'm really just trying to see is how tender this meat will be with just this basic process of not wrapping it. So I'm just gonna hit it all up with my Girls Can Grill brisket rub. This is what I used to season my brisket at the Jack when I got 5th place there. So it's good stuff. Just a heavy coat. And when I season my brisket, I don't usually season the bottom side because most of that's gonna get cut off. It's got a thick layer of fat anyway. There we go, a nice heavy coat. I'm gonna go ahead and go get the smoker set up to 250 degrees. I am smoking this on my Hunsaker smoker because that's what I bring to competitions. And as always, I'm using cowboy charcoal. One more thing before we go out to the smoker. I went ahead and took a 2-pound loaf pan and I filled it with some of that fat trimming that I trimmed right off the brisket. Usually I smoke with a water pan because I live in the desert and it's really dry here. But instead of that, I'm gonna actually do this because this is gonna cook down and make tallow, which is what we need at the end of the cook to wrap up the brisket. All right, now we can go out to the smoker. The smoker's ready. It's actually at 300 degrees right now, but when I add all this cold meat, that's gonna drop the temperature, and then I'm just gonna monitor it and try to keep it around 250, 275. It has been a little over 6 hours. This tallow is melted and ready. I'm gonna take that off. We're starting to get a nice bark on here, but we've got a ways to go to get to 195. We're in the stall right now. The brisket is off the smoker. As a reminder, I smoked it for about 10 hours, brought it inside, let the internal temperature drop to about 160 degrees, wrapped it with tallow, and then held it on the smoker at 150 degrees for another 10 hours or so. It feels soft on this end, which is to be expected because this is the end where the point is. It feels pretty firm on this side. So I'm actually gonna start slicing from this side that I think is gonna be a little bit softer. I can see juiciness inside, so that is reassuring. Actually, it looks pretty daggone good. It's a little crunchy on the bottom. When you look at it like this, it looks nice. You can see some space between the grains of the meat, which is nice, but actually indicates it's over a little bit because it just pulls apart super easily. There's no resistance. This piece right here is fat, so you can't really judge off of that. The bottom half here is gonna be the point, and I can see the juiciness in this. So that part's pretty good. But I'm finding that this top part is okay, but it's a little bit dry. It's partially because this is a select grade brisket, and I ended up smoking it at 250 to 275, which is a little bit too high of a heat for select grade. I really probably needed to go 200 to 225 for select grade, but the bark is incredible. The smoke ring is nice. Again, I didn't inject this one, so that could have helped to add moisture. My bottom part is a little bit crispy down here. I think that's because my grill temperature got a little bit warm. But like at first glance, it looks good other than it's over. Definitely overcooked. So I think this method works, but I want to try it again because again, my whole goal was to see if this could work for competition. I want to try it with a higher grade brisket, and I think I want to keep the temperature closer to the 250 instead of letting it spike to the 275 to 300. I think that's what got me a little bit on this cook, but I'm impressed with the long hold, and it's something I definitely want to try again, so I'm not ready to rule it out yet. So with this prime brisket, I had it on the smoker at 225 for about 7 hours, and then I went ahead and increased the heat to 250 and let it go for another 4 hours or so. So it had 11 hours, and then it reached about 195. Then I changed the smoker to 150 degrees, which you can do with the Masterbuilt, which is great. Wrapped it all up in foil with that beef tallow that we rendered, and it actually sat for another 10 hours. You don't have to rest it that long, but that's just how it worked for me. You can hold it as long as you want at 150 degrees and it'll stay safe, but let's see if it's overcooked, undercooked, what it all looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and slice kind of a little bit deeper, just so we can get a look at the inside. Nice, it looks juicy. I'm gonna go about 1/4 inch thick. Oh, that is a really nice bend. Unlike the Select that I did, the Select was a little bit over, it got a little bit dried out. I can tell that this is not dry. With the Select grade that I did, it actually cracked right here. So it cracked and it just like fell apart because it was dry and over. No, this is really nice. There's two things that made this turn out better. One is I used a prime grade brisket. So prime grade brisket has more marbling naturally, which is gonna make it a little bit juicier. But two, I did cook this on a different smoker. When I cooked on the drum smoker, it actually spiked. My heat got up to 275 to 300 at some points. That's really too high of a heat when you're cooking select grade brisket. So with the Masterbuilt, I was able to control it and keep it at 225 to 250 for the whole cook. I got a little crunchy on the bottom, but yeah, even further that I go, this is looking beautiful. Yeah, it has a beautiful smoke ring. It kept the bark. One of the things with competition brisket is that the bark tends to wash off because we put it in a pan with broth or some kind of a wrap, and then we cover it and it just kind of steams it. Well, the bark is nice and crispy here, and we've got a really nice smoke ring here. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. That's a nice brisket. Okay, now we're gonna get into the point. This is where you get your burn ends from. You usually wanna cut them about 1 inch thick. For competitions, I'm usually kind of cutting off the ends because you want them to be nice and squared up. God, this piece of meat, you can see how juicy it is. There is a pretty thick layer of fat on this, so I'm gonna cut that off because I would not want to turn in this layer of fat in a competition bite. And then you just cut these into cubes. That is a great looking burn end. Let's go in for a taste. Wow, that fat is perfectly rendered. It just falls apart just like you want it to. Really, really good. Now, if you're not doing this for competition, you can also just cut this into slices. This is what they call the fatty or the fat side of the brisket, because you can see how much more marbling is in there. So when you go to a barbecue restaurant and they'll say fatty or lean, the fatty is this, the fatty is the point. So after cooking a select grade brisket using the Goldee's method and a prime grade brisket using the Goldee's method, here's my take on whether or not this could work for competition barbecue. A, I absolutely love the flavor. I didn't even inject this. I didn't even use any type of a mop other than wrapping it in tallow at the end. I haven't even put any sauce or anything on this, and I already like the flavor. So I know if I amp it up with some of those other things, and if I use a Wagyu brisket like we do usually in competition style, then the flavor is gonna be phenomenal. The downside is the time that it takes. So again, this was on the smoker for 11 hours while I was smoking, and then I let it rest for another 10 hours. Some things that I noticed that are a little bit problematic is my ends got a little bit over and they started to fray. So some of the pieces, they should be okay, but some of them kind of, like I said, the edges kind of got frayed. So I need a little bit more practice to perfect the right smoke time, the right hold time, but I need to do that with Wagyu brisket because Wagyu is gonna cook a little bit differently. Now, would I actually try this in a competition? I think I might. One thing though, I will definitely use the Masterbuilt because I can control the heat, plus I can take it all the way down to 150 degrees to hold the brisket at that temperature so that it rests for a longer time. I'm afraid if I just put it in my Cambro that the temperature would get too cold. It would like cool off a little bit too much below the 140 mark. Also, you're not allowed to use electric warmers, so you can kind of fudge with that by using a charcoal warmer, which is what that Masterbuilt can do. Second thing, I would use Wagyu. Third thing is I will do an injection and finish it with a nice brushing of sauce. There is no jus to brush this with because you don't have a mop, so I probably would make some sort of a mop with some consomme. I don't know, I've got some more experimenting to do. I'd love for you guys to comment though. Most of us are doing hot and fast briskets. We knock them out in 5 hours and we're done. What do you think about starting a brisket old school style as soon as meat inspection's done? Season it and throw that baby on a smoker and let it ride. I'm really, really curious if the judges would appreciate a slow smoked brisket after having so many hot and fast briskets. Maybe I'll give it a shot at an upcoming competition. In the meantime, guys, thanks so much for watching. Be sure to tap that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know, are you team low and slow or team hot and fast?